Guys, and welcome to today's tutorial. In today's lesson we're going to focus on how to predict earthquakes and what can be done then to help us predict these natural hazards. Okay, so the first thing that we can use in order to try help us predict when earthquakes are going to take place are strain meters. So strain meters. And strain meters help us to predict earthquakes because they measure the build-up of stress in the Earth's crust. The second prediction tool that we use is a tilt meter. So tilt meters. So tilt meters measure the bulge of the Earth's surface. So when there's any change, if the Earth's surface starts to bulge, then a tilt meter will record this, and this will enable us to be able to predict when an earthquake is likely to take place. Another way that we can predict earthquakes is by looking at the seismic gaps. So seismic gaps is basically how we look at areas that are prone to earthquake activity, maybe because they lie on the plate boundaries, and how there's been like recent areas around them with recent like earthquake activity, but the area that we're looking at might have a gap of any seismic activity, and this could indicate that might be the next place where there's going to be an earthquake. The next way to predict earthquakes is by dating pattern. So dating pattern, and this is by basically looking at all the previous earthquakes that's taken place in the past, and then basically one can predict the likelihood of a new earthquake happening. One thing to note though, that not all major earthquakes can be predicted. An example of one that wasn't predicted was Kobe in Japan in 1995. So in 1995 the earthquake called Kobe in Japan came really out of the blue and was not predicted by scientists or anyone in the geography world. So this was completely out of the blue, and it was something that they weren't actually prepared for. Another way that they can look at predicting earthquakes as well and seismic activity is by monitoring animal behaviour. Animal behaviour can sometimes give a clear indication that maybe an earthquake is going to take place. So this is something also to bear in mind. I'll just jot it in up here. So animal behaviour. So that's it for today's tutorial on looking at ways we can predict earthquakes. If you enjoyed it, can you leave me some feedback? You can contact us on Twitter, or you can leave a message on Facebook. If you find these videos helpful, please do leave me some feedback. I'd really appreciate that. And you can get all our videos on our website, examrevision.ie. Thanks guys.